Okay, I'm Lisa. This is Helena, and Helena is from China, and we're going to talk about the way we raise children.
Mm-hmm.
So my first question is, what do you find is the biggest difference in the way we raise children in Canada as opposed to China?
Well, I think perhaps from my observation that I think your kids, your children are more independent than my children.
How do you mean independent? Like,
Um, for example, they sleep in their own room. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But
So
yeah.
your daughter doesn't sleep
No,
in her own room.
No.
How old do children start to sleep in their own bedrooms?
I think for most Chinese, after 4 or after 6, and yeah, the children will sleep in their own room. But for some people and for some parents and their children will sleep with them until they are 8.
Wow.
Yeah.
And with your spouse too, your husband as well?
Yeah, yes.
Whew, so they sleep in your bedroom, in your bed with you from newborn to 8 years old?
Yeah, my son.
Wow. Wow. Are there any other differences, like the way we discipline? Like, how do you discipline your children in China?
Yes, I think almost the same. And I yell at my children, and
You don't find we yell more often here?
I think I think I yell more.
Really?
than you are.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
And sometimes I spank them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, what would be a time when you would spank your daughter? What would she do that would deserve a spank?
Uh, if she doesn't obey me, yeah. And I think especially when that she caused me to lose my face in public.
Yes. I always say that every mother has more patience when you're in Walmart with your kids. That's funny. What about the grandparents? Are your family and your husband's family involved with your daughter?
Yes. We rely more on our parents. The grandparents.
Than we do here?
I think yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So do they babysit often, or?
Yes, and yes. For example, when my son was young, and my mother quitted her job.
Quit her job?
Yeah, quit her job, and so my mother lived with us to help me.
Wow, that's
Yes.
nice.
Yeah.
Wow. So she helps take on like household chores and everything to do
Yeah,
with
everything.
the baby?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's
and I have 3 sisters, and all of the children, my mom.
We'll stay with
Yeah.
them.
Yes.
Really? Wow, that's nice. So do you stay home with your daughter or do you work?
I don't work.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
I
you
don't-
used to with your
Yeah.
first son?
Yes, for most of the Chinese women,
Yeah.
and they must work. They must go to work.
And do you
Yeah.
get time off when you have a baby?
Yes, but very short. Usually, if it is the first case, and you can get 6 months.
Really?
Yeah,
That's it?
that's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So once you had your second, you quit your job when you were pregnant with her?
Yeah, I have to.
Yeah.
I have no choice
Oh,
because the one child policy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's still in effect today?
Oh, yeah, it's still in fact today.
Really?
But it changed a little bit.
Oh, okay.
It changed a little bit. If the parents and for the young couples, and one of them is the only child in his or her family,
Mm-hmm.
and then they can have two children.
Really?
Yeah.
And does
actually,
it matter if one is a boy or a girl?
It doesn't matter.
No.
No.
And so now you stay home, you don't work?
No.
No.
Mm-hmm.
So during the day, does your daughter go to daycare or preschool?
Yeah, she goes to, we call that kindergarten.
Kindergarten.
Yeah,
Okay.
she starts from 2.5 years.
Wow. And how many hours a day is that?
Oh, from 8 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon.
Whew.
The whole day.
Wow. So what do you do all day?
Do the housework.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes.
But you also have a cleaning lady?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're lucky. Wow.
Yeah.
And you cook all your own meals, or do you have anyone that cooks for you?
We cook.
You cook your own meals.
Mm-hmm.
Is it often in China you guys eat out at a restaurant?
Sometimes. Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes.
A special occasion?
Yeah, in special occasion, but most time we eat at home.
Do you ever have, like, sometimes here traditionally families might do Sunday night dinners at their in-laws' house or their parents' house?
Yeah, and at weekends, and we'll take our children to the parents or the parents-in-laws.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And do you spend the day or just do dinner?
Yeah, we spend to do dinner.
Or? Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm. So do you notice a difference in the way you've raised your son and your daughter? They're so, like, one is almost 18 and one is 4, right? So do you notice a difference because one is a boy and one is a girl, or the age difference?
Yes, and yeah, there's difference because they have such a big
Gap.
Yeah, and as for my son, I didn't have experience.
Yeah.
And now with my daughter, and I have more patience.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I don't have that much of expectation
Yeah.
for my daughter.
Yeah. So you're still quite young. Like, what is the average age in China that women and husbands start having children?
I think around 23 to 27. I think that's
so
the
similar
average.
to here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So do women, is it common for them to go, like, to university after high school?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Same thing here.
Yes.
And are there any, like, is it common to have single mothers there?
It's not common.
Not common.
Not common. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, what else do I have? Is there anything you wanted to ask me about our kids? Or the way we raise them?
I want to know why do you have so many?
So many?
Yeah, what's the average? What's the average
I think-
number of the children in?
I think in Canada the average is about 2.
Mm-hmm.
I think in bigger cities you have less children, and in smaller cities you have more on average. My husband and I have always wanted a big family.
Oh.
We would have more, but it's so expensive, and especially with 4 boys, it's a lot of hockey. And yeah. I think the average is about 2, though.
About 2.
Yeah.
And do your parents involve more in children raising?
A little bit. They're like, we will have sleepovers at grandma and grandpa's house or things like that. They do lots of fun activities with the kids. Usually going to grandparents' house is always a treat or a surprise. Something always that's really, really special. Yeah. Anyways, I think we've about wrapped it up. Thank you so much for doing the interview with me.